First, today's top news headlines. Nagaland government to write to centre demanding repeal of OSPA. Security forces seize drugs worth rupees 500 crore at Moray. And Congress vows to defeat BJP in Manipur polls 2022. Good evening. Before we move on to the news, a COVID awareness for the general public. We are collectively facing a pandemic threat that is sweeping across the humanity beyond oceans and borders. Considering the seriousness of COVID-19, it's about time we step up against this deadly disease. Maintain a safe distance from others even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Choose open, well-ventilated spaces over closed ones. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. Get vaccinated when it's your turn. Follow local guideline about vaccination. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. This is Pony Television giving you the latest English bulletin at 6:30. I'm Loving Rimai, now the news in detail. In the aftermath of the killing of 14 civilians by security forces, the Nagaland government has decided to appeal to the Home Ministry to repeal the Armed Formed Special Powers Act (OFSPA). The decision was taken during a cabinet meeting which was chaired by Chief Minister Nifurio on Tuesday. In the meeting, it was also decided that the Special Investigation Team (SIT) that has been constituted to probe the incident will complete its investigation within a month. The government also decided to call off the ongoing Hornbill Festival in protest against the civilian killings. However, the stalls at the venue will remain open and the Tourism Department will hold a simple closing ceremony. The 10-day Hornbill Festival, the state's largest tourism extravaganza, held at Naga Heritage Village in Kisama near the state capital, was scheduled to end on December 10. On Monday, the state government had cancelled the day's event at the venue. During the meeting, the cabinet was briefed about the action taken following the killing, including setting up of a Special Investigation Team (SIT) headed by an IGP rank officer and grant of ex gratia to the next kin of the deceased by the state and central governments, ministers Niba Kronu and Temjen Imna along later reported. The cabinet has directed the SIT to complete the investigation within a month, they said. Kronu said the altogether 14 civilians have died in the incident, while 2 seriously injured are undergoing treatment in neighboring Assam and 6 are being treated in Dimapur. Several tribes from eastern Nagaland and other parts of the state had suspended all activities at their respective morungs over the killings in Mon district. The civilians, said to be workers in a coal mine, were returning home in a vehicle when the security forces opened fire. 6 civilians died on the spot. This triggered violence in the area later, in which 8 more people, 7 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday, were killed. A combined team of 43 Assam Rifles and Moray Police Commando recovered a huge cache of illicit brown sugar and crystal meth worth over rupees 400 crore from a house at Moray on Monday. Monkai, a Myanmar national, was arrested by the team in connection with the drug seizure case. The anti-drug operation was carried out as part of the war against drugs launched by the Manipur government. Tengnopal District Superintendent of Police T.H. Vikramjit told a press conference at the Moray Police IB Conference Hall on Tuesday. The operation was conducted under the supervision of 43 Assam Rifles Commandant Sumit Sood and Technopal SP Vikramjit near Moreh Sunrise Hotel. The seized drugs, along with the Myanmar national, have been handed over to Moreh Police Station, said SP Vikramjit. Meanwhile, a combined team of Narcotics Cell Imphal led by Sub-Inspector T. Lenin Sharma under the supervision of Officer in charge of Imphal East Narcotics Cell Inspector K.H. Devkumar Singh seized 485 grams of heroin at Kairao Langdum under Irilbung Police Station on Monday. It is said that the drug was seized during frisking and checking after a tip-off. Police say the drug peddler managed to escape, taking the advantage of darkness in a nearby hill. The seized drug was later handed over to Irilbung Police Station. Moirangthem Ibotombi Memorial Charitable Trust on Tuesday observed 27th death anniversary of former Minister Moirangthem Ibotombi at Hayrok Part 2, Mayai Lekai, Polo Ground on the theme Live and Let's Live. Distribution of pension to over 2,000 people, including persons with disabilities and widows, was the main highlight of the event. AICC in charge Manipur, Bhakta Charan Das, former Chief Minister O Ibobi, CWC member Gai Khangam, MPCC President and Lokend, President of Moirangthem Ibotombi Memorial Charitable Trust, M. Okendro, and other Congress leaders were present. Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee MPCC President N. Loken on the occasion said, as Congress Party is based on Mahatma Gandhi's ideology, bring no harm, let's hold the upcoming Manipur election in a peaceful manner. Loken vowed to defeat BJP in the Manipur election 2022. Former Manipur Chief Minister and Congress Legislature Party CLP leader Okram Ibobi stated that since the BJP came to power, there is no peace in Hayrok constituency. He said that late Hayrok Ibotombi was a tall leader who renounced violence. Ibobi also tried to woo Hayrok voters. He sought vote for Moirangthem Oken in the upcoming state election.
Hayrok ke dari banung Hayrok se suki mati kuare thol ning da batahan ke thombo kaya nanti thale matama da naharol ki chaina lei ki draba ngasi koina palon tori be se Moirangthem Ibotombi bu sumai mutada nongine kapna hato pi bani pradhan kaya ma thaban chongri thoronda kulai pai sing na chamje ga be cha sing na usin kaya ma hato pi ga maduri matung da kutta kulai pioi khoi lamba to ke haduna yamna lingna Yekabasing Tengana Basem Saramasi, Hello, Pangal, Tona, Jeldo, Nasi Congress, London State Youth with Romatandi, on top of Aurazo and Topuna, Nigium Lutoba, Nigium Tubaiba, Kian Kanamba, Chinadikana Roy, Kian Golden and City, Yamsida, Kanan Golden and City Yamsida. What happens in the Bhakti frame, the Haizer with the Yamele, Minister Ore, parties na Manipur the Supai, the Supai, and Pantauto with the Wanjaning Day.
But was not taking the same. I don't know what we're going here. Send me to the lecture for Saturday. So it's right now, don't know, Madam Sama Magno. I don't know what we're going in money. I don't know what he's saying. They put about what I'm about. Bila kaya pun bertanding singgoina, teman-teman bercinta hari tarik, sangat hari lagi, koi humanasi hari neva, koi humanasi hari siang arti yang lain, koi si himbada wari hari neva, koi himbada wari hari neva, himbada wari si makan yang le. Like the Balai bagi awama, imong manungi masa masusian sana na matawda awama. Ano ba? Ganatan sa ipang amagi polisi nagarinti. Ganatan sa ipang hay kasi matamamagan ko palingan na nito na ipang sason ko ba? Kung sino ganatan sa साइबसे अखोई भोट हाइबदी साना डायरेक्ट शासन तौजबने अदो कोई मयाम चंगसलगा असेंबली दा नत्रगा भारत सरकार की अंगम अथौरी चौकी फमुबो यादबनिना अखोई अखोई भोट सही मंगा मंगा की होइना खागतपा मसले खागतखरगा पाइरिबो सरकार मणिपुर सरकार की होइबो याय भारत सरकार की होइबो याय केंद्र की होइबो याय भोट खागतखरगा अखोई मयाम से साना सिनना नुंसिनना लेहनबगी महत्ता धमका तौबा चिंतन तौबा मसी तौरगा नंगना प्रजामिया मांगलिंग प्रजामिया के शासन से मसी नंगर पाई हैरगदी मदुदी पाइदगी अपंगबा पाइदगी पांगदबा बिना चक्कदबा साजत
After the BJP reinstated former MLA Samuel Jendai, a women wing of supporters was formed yesterday at Samuel Jendai's residence located at Model Village Tamenglong Ward number 3. The program was attended by hundreds of women from different wards. At the meeting, the women supporters unanimously appointed RD Anggo Liu as convener of Samuel Jendai Women Wing supporters, Raylung Niumai as co-convener, Devi Joshi Gangmei as secretary and Acham Liu Riamei as joint secretary. They also appointed 50 women leaders as members besides women leaders as advisors. The Women Wing expressed gratitude and appreciation to national BJP leaders, BJP Manipur State in charge, President of BJP Manipur State and all central and state core committee leaders. The meeting ended with a slogan, "Long live Samuel Jendai, long live BJP." On the other hand, a declaration program for Samuel Jendai, a BJP intending candidate, was held at the village of Chabagan. The Kanglikpa Kanbalup KKL was condemned the startly genocidal killings of innocent Naga brethren of the Mon district of Nagaland by the personnel of the Indian Army. In a statement, KKL demanded immediate trial of the culprits as war criminals. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act of SPA 1958 is still enforced in Nagaland to justify such genocidal killings, and hence KKL said it demands that Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, should immediately move in the Indian Parliament to repeal AFSPA with immediate effect. The KKL also said it wonders why the mainstream Indian media is keeping a stoic silence over such a heinous crime against humanity. Manipur is still under the grip of AFSPA since 1958 and its impacts. Manipur has been appealing to the Indian government for the last more than 50 years to remove the AFSPA. And now not the Manipur, but the draconian scenario came up in the neighboring state of Nagaland under AFSPA. It is high time for all brethren of the entire northeast of India to awake and revoke and unroot the AFSPA from the soil. Let us unite and fight against AFSPA 1958, KKL said. National People's Youth Front NPYF Manipur unit observed a candlelight vigil in front of Western Gate of Kangla Fort in Imphal on Monday evening for the victims of Oting incident. At the concluding part of the vigil, leaders and members of the state unit of the NPYF shouted slogans demanding repeal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act AFSPA from the Northeast region. While shouting demilitarized Northeast, the participants also shared the pains of the bereaved families of the Mon district victims. Before we end the bulletin, the top news headlines once again. Nagaland government to write to center demanding repeal of AFSPA. Security forces seize drugs worth rupees 500 crore at Moray. And Congress vows to defeat BJP in Manipur polls 2022. That is the end of the bulletin for the English news at 6:30. Thank you for watching.